Alright, so I figured today'd be a good day to make an update video on what I've been doing. I've got a lot done on the blue f100, and I've just not made a video in a while. I've just been so busy. But you can see I've got it mostly put together. There is a video of this thing running on my channel. It's a shorts video. I've got a couple heat cycles through the motor now. It started right up and runs great. It's got a pretty choppy idle to it. Sounds really good. I've got everything hooked up to where it'll run, but I'm having a problem with the wiring. Kind of been a issue. I need to get a new wiring harness. I think I'd just be a lot happier if I just completely rewired the truck. But I love all the parts I bought. Everything works good. I got a new gas tank. I said I was going to clean the other one, but the gas tank was just so bad I couldn't get it clean, so I got this one. Made a return line for the fuel, or for the inside of the cab. For the fuel pump I'm running, the Holly Blue kicks out a lot more PSI than what you need, so I ran a return line into the tank, and it's just JB welded into the tank there. Made me a panel for the floor to cover up the big hole, and I'll probably seam seal that and just leave it. I don't want to weld it right now. I don't know if I want to weld it, so I need to go through this whole floor and seam seal everything, and need to get my carpet ordered. I probably won't do any painting on the inside of this yet. I want to get the red one painted before I even mess with anything like that. And you know, pulling the interior back out of this ain't going to be hard at all, so I just want to drive this one how it is for now. But the things I need, I've got my cart full of stuff and I'm just waiting to buy it. But I ordered a transmission cooler, my B&M mega shifter. I ordered a slip yoke for the transmission. I need to try to find a good place to get a drive shaft made. Debating on whether to just redo all these drum brakes and put it back together, or get a disc brake conversion. I'd like to do that eventually, but that's pretty expensive, so I will for sure be doing drums on the back. I think I found some wheels I want. I don't know the tire size yet, but I think I'm going to go with some torque thrust wheels. They make a 17x8, and I'd like to run a 10 wide on the back, so I'm trying to find some 10 wides. But within the next couple months, I'd say that this thing will be sitting on the ground. But one thing I did do that I didn't really care for was I did end up putting a mechanical fan on it, and I'm going to be getting rid of that and doing some electric fans. And then I'll have my TCI transmission cooler on the radiator, but I think that'll help it keep it nice and cool. So the main goal is to get this thing moving so we can get it to the exhaust shop and get that taken care of, and start putting the interior back in, wiring, and yeah, it'll be fun. It'll look kind of ratty on the outside, but I want everything ready so it can be painted. So but kind of moving on, I don't want to get into too much detail on this, because there'll be a really in-depth view, or a in-depth video on that later. But I've been working on the red truck just in my free time, and been kind of running into a lot of rust problems. You can see the whole cab corner's gone, and behind that the whole cab corner's gone. So I'm gonna have to order some new cab corners, which to me ain't that big of a deal. The driver's side floor pan and cab mounts in, and that was a nightmare. I don't really want to have to do it again, but it looks like I'm gonna have to, because the cab mount on this side's rusted in half as well, and I'm gonna have to patch this floor up. Just a lot of rust repair on this, and that just takes a lot of time. So still got a lot to do. Core support is rotted out as well on the front of it. Had to put new shock mounts on it. The shock mounts were completely rotten in half, so I bought these new ones and bolted them in, and I had to weld in a piece of metal on the frame. There was a hole in the frame from the shock mount being rusted. It rusted into the frame, so I had to weld a new piece of metal on that on both sides. I deleted the rear gas tank. I don't want it. That's just a mess. They never work anyway. Probably will end up getting a new front gas tank for this, but the cab corner on this side's gone as well. Like I said, the floor pan on this side and the cab mount's done. I had to weld in a new piece of metal on that corner and bend it in the vise, and this whole floor pan is replaced with the cab mount underneath. Did some sanding on it because I'm wanting to paint this truck this summer, and just kind of figuring out what I want to do. I think I'm going to buy a media blaster and blast it with that, just a Harbor Freight media blaster. Probably get the bigger tank for that and media blast this. That won't warp no metal. So the bed has some metal work that needs done. Both the fenders, or the sides above the tires, have been replaced already, so not much work needs done on that. I will strip this one down to bare metal too. Where the bolts go into the bed, those need fixed, and the bed rail that goes across the bottom in the middle is rotten, so I'm gonna have to fix that, and that shouldn't be too big of a deal. But just a lot of metal work on this. I get a lot of questions about this truck, and it still starts up and runs fine. Just the carbureted 302 that I rebuilt it, put a carb on it, and you can't go wrong with switching these from fuel injection to carb. You can't beat that view underneath the hood. That electronic EFI junk is just too much for me on these early trucks. Nowadays it's the way to go, I think, but you know, that early EFI is just trash. So this carburetor and cam and a little bit of work I done to this really opened that motor up. It still runs good. I'm just running a stock pump out of the tank and with a fuel regulator, and it's all a mess because I had to take out the inner fender there. But this thing still starts up and runs great, so it can be done. CNC Auto Works has a video on how to convert these over. I don't really I deleted my video. It wasn't as in depth, and I might end up doing another video on that. I just didn't think mine was all that great. So it's just kind of hard to go over everything you have to do. I think I forgot some stuff, so I just took it down, but maybe we'll do another one when I get this truck done, the paint work and stuff. Maybe we'll do an in-depth video on how I did the swap. But like I said, CNC Auto Works has one on his channel, and it's a better video than mine was, so you guys can check it out. But yeah, just doing what I can. It's just, a lot of people, I don't know if they don't understand, but it just takes so much money working on this stuff. I've got a lot of money wrapped up in this truck. This channel's not like those higher end YouTube channels where they're throwing, just gobs and gobs and gobs of money. Why don't you do a QA1 front end with a Coyote and a supercharger and a QA1 rear end? Well, right there, that's, you're talking thousands and thousands of dollars front end. QA1, $3,500. A Coyote motor with a transmission, you're talking over $10,000. It's just, that's not what this channel's about. This is kind of budget minded. I do have a little more money in this motor than I'd like to, but I've got a day job, and I'm just doing this as I can afford it. So this thing ain't gonna be no SEMA build, but we're doing what we can do, and I want to drive it around looking like this for a while. I think that'd be cool, but probably do that for this summer, and then I'll probably get it in here when the red one's done and get the body work done on this too, because I want it to look nice. So The bed is pretty mangled up, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that yet, but we'll probably end up just fixing this bed. You can buy these new bed sides now, and the new floor, so it'll probably be a lot of replacement metal on this bed. So, but I appreciate you guys watching. I've just been doing what I can do out here. I don't have a GoPro yet, and I don't know how to edit videos, so this is just what you're gonna get for now. So maybe in the future we can figure out all that stuff, but thank you for watching.